So, back for another Believe in Boyt with this Mamoswine team. So, Mamoswine, is it showing its worth already? You have to decide from the last episode. Very first thing it did was not ideal, but it still showed how strong it was in the previous episode as well. Hopefully it will be able to show itself as well in this one. I'm still waiting to ice shard myself. Okay. Interesting. It's got Geolith over Tyranitar. So Gale is much better in Trick Room than Tyranitar is, but to be fair, they're about the same. There's not too much speed-wise between Geolith and Tyranitar. They can run min-speed Tyranitar and not be undersped by most things that Gigalith would be. I guess Gigalith does underspeed Hatterene, that's a pretty big one. Yeah, that is a pretty big one, actually. Then he's got Ferrothorn, so he's sorted against Hatterene. But anyway, I should actually decide what I'm bringing, rather than just comment on which sound user to use. Where's Hippowdon, though? Hippowdon popped up at the very beginning of the format. Like, that stockpile body press one was cool by Jono, but that's disappeared. And again, I've just completely distracted myself. So I want to go with Mamoswine, but if he does go with Sand, that is not the best of leads for me. Oh, Dracovish is good here. But I need Incineroar for Ferrothorn. Although, to be fair, Dracovish does a lot of damage to Ferrothorn. Also surprised no one picked up on my pronunciation of Reuniqueless. I'm pretty sure everyone else says it differently, but I've been informed that Reuniqueless is the correct way of pronouncing it. But there we go. Because it's unique, apparently. I don't think I've ever seen that background of a trainer card before as well, so... Is that like a DLC for trainer cards? No idea. Okay, so he really wants Trick Room up here. So he's definitely setting up for the Gigalith. So I think I'm going to Phantom Force the Dusclops and just KO the Togekiss. It'll get Gigalith in, but then I think I'm going to Dynamax my Mamoswine again. Because I'm pretty confident an Icicle Crash KOs the Togekiss. If it doesn't, that's a bit more awkward. Actually, no, it would probably be better. Probably should have left the Togekiss in. I should have just Ice Sharded it. I get a KO, but he gets his Gigalith in. Or his Ferrothorn. If it's Ferrothorn, that's pretty bad. Then I'll have to switch into Incineroar. In fact, I might switch into Incineroar with Mamoswine anyway. Regardless, even if it's Gigalith. Because then I'll lose the Incineroar, but then he'll only be at +1. Because he's going to Bulldoze himself. And then Mamoswine should be able to take on the Gigalith a bit better. I'll get good damage into the Dusclops, and yeah, I will switch into Incineroar just for an Intimidate. I'm highly expecting to lose Incineroar this turn. Shame I didn't go with Mimikyu as a lead. Mimikyu would have been so much better than Mamoswine. Because I'd have been able to just taunt and reverse Trick Room, and I didn't even bring Mimikyu, so... Didn't respect Trick Room enough, but there we go. In fact, I might still Dynamax my Dragon Ball, because then I can Wormwind. And then get maximum no. But then he'll still be at neutral, because he's definitely bulldozing / brick breaking himself. Yeah. And I'll lose Incineroar here to a Rockfall. Unless he goes for a Steel Spike. Steel Spike would be very good. Go on, Steel Spike, you know you want to. Ah, it was Rockfall. Boo. Too much to hope for. So rip Incineroar. But he's only +1, so that's not so bad. So do I still Dynamax my Mamoswine? Do I Dynamax my Dragapult? It doesn't do half. Interesting. Can get extra Nightshade Chip as well. I go into Mamoswine, but do I Dynamax the Mamoswine for a Max Quake, which should put him maybe in Sucker Punch range? So if I go into Mamoswine, I either have to Ice Shard myself as he KOs the Mamoswine, or I Dynamax the Mamoswine to get a Max Quake into the Gigalith, because Mamoswine won't be able to take anything the Gigalith throws at him. But then can Dragapult even live anything? I'm not sure. This is a tough one. I think I'm going to go with my original plan of Dynamaxing Mamoswine. I can't max guard it or anything, which is a bit awkward. It is darkness, okay. So I'm content with my choice of Dynamaxing Mamoswine, because I reckon that +1 could have still KO'd the Dragapult. Would have been pretty close, but could have done. Now don't be Will-O-Wisp. Nightshade, okay, that's doable. It's not Sucker Punch range. It's close, but it's not Sucker Punch range. But can Mamoswine take another one? I reckon the Dusclops is in Sucker Punch range. So if I Sucker Punch it, it can't get that Nightshade Chip. That's going to be very close, but I'm going to Sucker Punch the Dusclops, and I'm going to Max Quake again into the Gigalith. And hope that Mamoswine is bulky enough to take +1. It should be able to. Mamoswine is pretty bulky. Like, it's got, what, 110 base HP? And 80 defense is pretty respectable. So it should take it. And he didn't Will-O-Wisp that turn, so surely he doesn't have Will-O-Wisp. He would have gone for it that turn if he did. Then we ally switch as well, that would be annoying. Oh, he's going for a status move, interesting. And he did have Steel Spike, no! Why didn't you go for that the turn 1? No! Oh, should have got. Why wouldn't you Steel Spike the Mamoswine turn 1? Obviously, it covered the Incineroar switch in, which was a good play. But what's the Dusclops going for? It's reversing Trick Room. Wow, interesting play. So can Bishop solo this? I don't think so. Especially if he has Veropo in the back. That was an interesting play. But why wouldn't you Steel Spike the Mamoswine turn 1? Like, obviously he's covering for the Incineroar switching, but why doesn't he hide that and then get, like, yeah, he got me. He got me with that. So I'm pretty confident I'll be able to take a Rockfall. Or even a Knuckle, but not a Steel Spike. Is there anything that Bishop can be? It would have to be Dragapult in the back. It really has to be Dragapult in the back for Bishop to have a chance. And even then, would Assurance be enough on Dusclops? Interesting. If this is Frothorn, I definitely lost anyway. It is Dragapult. There was a chance. There's no longer a chance because that was a good switch. But there was a chance. because now I am 3-shot by this. So that was a good play. That was a very good play. If I can take 2 moves from the Dragapult, maybe. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Okay, yeah, there was no chance. Absolutely no chance. I mean, there was a chance. If he let the Gigalith take the Iron Head, there was a chance. That was a solid switch. Like, my opponent played very well. And to be fair, I did make the criminal mistake of KOing the Follow Me Mon as they set up Trick Room. Like, that's always what you should never do. And then I did it anyway, because I'm an idiot. But I should have gone with Mimikyu. Mimikyu was way better in that matchup. Why wouldn't you steal Spike? I know it covered the Incineroar. And I know that that's objectively the correct play. But come on, you saw it. You saw a super effective hit. You would have got a defense boost. Why couldn't you? Why did you have to hide this from me? Oh no, we're against the Poker Champ now. It's got Ninetales. Ninetales should be used a lot more. Ninetales is way better than Lapras. It's got Mimilax as well. That's like quite a cool team. I quite like that team. I think I'm going to go with Dragapult and Mamoswine. Will an Icicle Crash be able to KO... Oh no, High Horsepower be able to KO a Mimikyu? Not if I get intimidated. So maybe I still need to go with Mimikyu. No, I'll go with Mamoswine, because Mamoswine. That's the point of this. Bishop's pretty good if he's double Intimidate. If he's Moxie, it's not as good. No, actually, I'll save Mamoswine in the back. I'm going to lead with Bishop. And... I will have Mamoswine in the back. And I'm going to bring Dracovish. Again, I'm not going to respect Trick Room, which was already a mistake in Game 1, but there we go. If I take care of the Duraludon, then Dracovish is pretty free. Well, I guess there's Mimikyu as well, and a Freeze-Dry Ninetales. So actually, Dracovish was probably a terrible bring, but it does well against Incineroar and Snorlax, to be fair. Okay, please be Intimidate. Well, that's the faster of the abilities that would activate. Oh, that's so rude. Why would you be Moxie? Oh well, let's deal with this Ninetales. There isn't too much you can do to stop this. Gyarados is probably airstreaming itself, which isn't too bad. I can go for a Sucker Punch into myself next turn. Which would have done a lot of damage if he was actually Intimidate, but... And to be fair, Sucker Punch myself still does do a lot of damage. It does like 40%, I think. So, yeah, there's the Dynamax. But that's fine. So I'm not too scared of this Gyarados. Only if it has like Crunch or something, but... That is very uncommon. And then next turn I can go for a Whirlwind to nuke to this Gyarados as well. But Airstream will put Bishop faster than Ninetales, so there is no way it's surviving this combination. So no Aurora Veil for him. Does Freeze Dry? I think I've already asked, like... well, not on the channel, but I've thought this before. Does Freeze Dry activate a weakness policy? Obviously, you wouldn't freeze dry your own Gyarados to activate a weakness policy, but I have wondered, does freeze dry activate a weakness policy? Like, I get on Gyarados or Ludicolo or whatever. It was just, guys, that's actually better, I think, because then that can let me put my Dracovish faster than the Gyarados. If he doesn't Airstream again, I have the potential, if he KOs the Bishop this turn, I have the potential to go for a Max Airstream and Vicious Rend into the Gyarados. And he set up the rain for Dracovish as well, so Dracovish is looking very good, if it can just move first. So I am intimidated now, but he can just fake out the Bishop. I could switch in Dracovish and go for an Airstream. But then if he Airstreams the Bishop, that's very bad. So actually I will just Wormwind the Gyarados instead. I don't need to attack the Incineroar because I can just Vicious Rend it whenever I want. So that's one of the nice things about Dracovish. You can ignore Pokemon and just bop it whenever you want. Yeah, I didn't think that would KO, but that did more than that's why I did more than I expected. That was very good damage, actually. Now, is he Airstreaming the Bishop? Because if he doesn't, I'm going to be sad that I didn't bring in the Dracovish there and Airstream. If it is Airstream, should be into the Bishop. It was into the Dragapult, no! I could have done it. Unfortunate. But Bishop survived, so I can go for Sucker Punch and Wormwind into the Gyarados now. Don't need to bother with Assurance stuff. A +1, this combination should KO. Based on that damage of Wormwind before. Okay, he did attack, good. That was very respectable damage, so this is definitely going to KO. His Incineroar is at -2 now, so if it Dark Moves the Dragapult, perfect. If he U-turns the Bishop, that would probably be worst case, but if he Parting Shots the Bishop, that would be lovely. Please Parting Shot the Bishop. That would be highly amusing. I haven't seen a Defiance / competitive go off from Parting Shot yet. Oh, just Dark Lariat. That's good. That is very good, because I have a weakness policy now. So I'm very confident I'm going to win this game. But I am waiting for the Parting Shot into Defiant or competitive. Because if you didn't know, the Parting Shot lowers the attack and activates the Defiant competitive, then the special attack drops, and then activates the Defiant competitive again. So you get +4, effectively. Mimikyu, okay. It's the only thing that could stop this now. What do I have in the back? Dracovish and Mamoswine, right? Yeah, that's fine. So I can go for a Phantom Force into the Mimikyu, and I'm not going to Sucker Punch it. I'm going to Iron Head it, because next turn, he either KOs the Bishop this turn with a Shadow Sneak, in which case I can Ice Shard and Phantom Force KO the Mamoswine. KO the Mimikyu, thanks to the Mamoswine. Then I just Vicious Rend. Or he does not Shadow Sneak this turn, and Iron Head breaks the Disguise, but like this. So I could have Sucker Punch broken the Disguise, but I'm still safe to do this, because this covered Trick Room. Because if he went for Trick Room that turn, he still had a chance. The Incineroar is -2, so we'd have to get loads of crits, but that's a chance. So this should be a guaranteed win, because he can't Dark Lariat me. Mimikyu's there. I go into Mamoswine now. If he has Protect on the Mimikyu, and then Dark Lariat puts me into Shadow Sneak range, I still don't think he can win then. But yeah, I can go for Ice Shard, break the Disguise, and I have Vicious Rend in the back. Like I was saying, you could ignore the Incineroar. If your plan is to just bop it with Vicious Rend whenever you want, then you can ignore the Pokemon. So I can just deal with them. Like, to be fair, I probably don't need Dracovish. Mamoswine will just be able to high horsepower the Incineroar and win. But this seemed to me like a 100% path to victory, so I might as well follow it. Very nice. And let's see that Cassie Berry come out and live this +2 Phantom Force. Very good. And Incineroar cannot win. Even if it was Choice Scarf. But he did fake out in Dark Lariat, so he is not Choice Scarf. And will this even KO the Dragon Bolt? No, it won't. So, very nice. And I want Mamoswine to show off its strength and just KO this Incineroar with high horsepower. So I'm going to fly instead, rather than get extra chip. Unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. But I just want to get a one-shot with Mamoswine just to show its worth. Excellent. So, 1 for 1 again. Hopefully that trend is not going to continue, but maybe I should respect Trick Room a bit more and bring my Mimikyu next time. Because made the card did the Cardinal Sin? I think so. Like, you know, did the Cardinal Sin of KOing the Follow Memon to get their sweeper in Trick Room. Don't do that. Don't copy me. Thanks for watching.